All right, everybody. Who's ready for the final session? Is anyone sad or is everyone just like relieved to just be over? Let me know in the chat. Are you guys relieved that this is over? I'm feeling a little sad, honestly, myself, but let me know in the chat. How are you guys? How everyone's feeling? Let's just get a quick pulse check to see where everyone's at. Sad? Everyone's sad? Relieved? Excited to start? That is the right thing. So, I know. I feel like we just like become like this big family that's like obsessed with taxes that we just get to keep grinding away at this, but I love it. I love talking about this stuff. I love changing people's lives, and it sounds like a lot of you guys are going to be taking action. Excited. Awesome. Cool, cool, cool. You guys are awesome, guys. Thanks for the engagement over the last few days. Your questions have been awesome. It's honestly, it's just super inspiring for me too. It's seeing the amount of people that are ready to change their lives and take action. Okay. All right. So let's get into it for the last session here. So I want to talk about next steps, and also just kind of pull back the curtain to see, because I know a lot of you guys have booked calls with my team. And also, I know there's a lot of people that are wanting to book calls. And so we did get a lot of questions about that. So I just want to kind of break it all down here for you guys in this session. Okay. So over the last few days, you learned probably more about finances than most people learn in a lifetime. Okay, so we hit all the different major points, right? Taxes, debt, credit, entity setup, short-term rentals, and how to actually build wealth while keeping your W-2, right? And that's a lot. But learning it and doing it are two completely different things. And everything that's about to happen next was built specifically to close that gap. So let's just quickly recap, because we had several people reach out saying that they missed yesterday's session. And so the Legacy Wealth Blueprint is built around one idea, and that's there's $100,000 or more in wealth sitting inside your current income right now. And so we find it by working through the 5 steps in order. The first thing is we cut your taxes legally, so you're keeping 50 to 70% more of what you earn. Then we eliminate high interest debt, so your money stops bleeding out. Then we build income streams that bring in $5 to $15,000 per month without working more hours. And then we put your money into tax-free investment vehicles that compound. And then we protect everything with the right structure so that it passes down to your kids. And if you do all 5 of these, then you're adding $100,000 or more to your net worth in 12 months. Now, this is the piece that ties it all together. Okay, this is a 12-month wealth strategy snapshot. We basically look at your complete financial picture, your income, your goals, your timeline, and then we start mapping out exactly which strategies hit hardest for your situation and in what order. Okay, so the program is going to give you the dots, and the snapshot just connects them. And so once you join the program, you get assigned a Legacy Wealth Guide. Okay, this is going to be your main person for the entire program. First thing that we do is a one-on-one onboarding call. They're going to walk you through every platform, every resource, exactly where to start. And from there, you're going to get priority access. Every conversation picks up where you left off, and then they do weekly check-ins with you as well. So they follow up with you and not the other way around. And if you need them in between, you just message them and hop on a call whenever. Most people don't fall behind because the information isn't there. They fall behind because life gets in the way, and now you have someone whose entire job is to make sure that doesn't happen. And if you don't want to figure out entity setup yourself, then we handle that as well. So you can get a one-on-one private session. They look at your situation, tell you exactly what structure makes sense, LLC, S corp, etc. They're going to walk you through tax strategies that apply to your business, and they can even show you how to shift your business line or personal lines to your business lines of credit. And if you want, they can be your tax strategist, estate attorney, credit advisor, entity partner, literally all in one. So here's everything that comes with Path A. Okay, so you get the full Legacy Wealth Blueprint, over 100 plus video lessons with lifetime access. You get your one-on-one guide, the Wealth Circle community for 12 months. You're gonna get your personal AI wealth advisor who gets smarter every single week, weekly coaching calls, plus the replays, all the SOPs, templates, checklists, your 12-month wealth snapshot, and a second membership for your spouse or family member at no cost. So the curriculum runs through 5 pillars: the tax optimization piece, credit and leverage, income acceleration, investment vehicles, and wealth protection. Okay, so each one builds on the last. Now, this is Path B. Okay, so everything in Path A, plus you're going to get the cash flow. So you're going to find a property in a high demand area where STR is allowed. Okay, we're going to help you furnish it, sign a lease. So you're going to be making cash flow from this. So let's say in this example, you make $2,500 per month from this property. This works great if you're starting with $10,000 to $25,000. You don't have to purchase the property, and then you can get it live and earning in 60 to 90 days, depending on how quickly you move. Okay. You can also run it tax-free through a self-directed IRA, 100% remote, so you can scale without moving. Now, this is everything you get on the STR side. Okay. So you're going to get a dedicated one-on-one coach who's your personal mentor. You can get the full Airbnb Ascension curriculum on the complete training platform. You're going to get the property analysis. So you're going to run the numbers before committing. You're going to get the AirDNA advanced plan. So you know which markets are profitable. You can uplisting for channel management. You're going to get the top 500 markets, an AI advisor for short-term rental questions, and all the scripts and templates that I use to run my own business. Okay, also in Path B, we're going to be doing the heavy lifting for you. So we're going to do the property setup and the listing design. We're going to do the furnishing and interior optimization so your place actually books, operations and guest management. So that way you're not having to deal with check-ins, messaging optimization so guests get instant responses without you touching anything. And this is for people who want the cash flow but don't want to figure out the operations side themselves. Now, 3 steps, and we're with you through all of them. Because the first step, we're going to help you on the lease, training to find profitable properties, the exact scripts for landlords. We're going to give you role play practice, lease negotiation playbooks. Our coaches are going to also vouch for you as references. The second step is we're going to set up everything. Okay, so the design and furnishing guidance. We're going to list your property on the Airbnb platform, VRBO, Booking.com, etc. We're going to optimize your listing copy, your photos and positioning, and we're going to build out the guest communication templates. The third step is we're going to automate it. So we're going to set up the dynamic pricing, automate the guest messaging, and then we're going to give you the operation SOPs so it can run hands off. So here's a full picture of Path B. Okay, this is the Legacy Wealth Blueprint plus the Airbnb Ascension. So you're going to get everything from Path A, the full blueprint, the tax strategies, the debt work, all of it. And then on top of that, you're going to get the Airbnb Ascension curriculum, a dedicated one-on-one coach, a property analysis report so you don't never take on a bad deal. You're going to get the AirDNA software. That's over $14,000 worth of software. That's included in this. You get the market matrix, which is the top 500 markets, uplisting for channel management, and the AI advisor available around the clock. And when the 3 pillars of what you actually do, these 3 pillars hit all 3 things here. So we help you acquire the lease, the training, the scripts, the role play, and the landlord references. The second thing is we set up all the operations for you. So listing, furnishing, the guest communication, and then we automate your pricing, dynamic pricing strategy, hands-off management SOPs, and that's Path B. Now, this is Path C. Okay, this is where the real wealth gets built. Okay, instead of leasing like Path B, you actually own the property here, and that changes everything. So we can help you generate over $78,000 or more in year 1 value through the ownership. And there's 4 steps that we do for you for this. First is we define your buy box together. So we're going to target the market, price range, and the cash flow goals. Then we find the deal. So we're going to source 5 to 10 properties and underwrite every single one. We're going to help you close it and structure it, the tax setup, entity formation, the cost segregation, and then we're going to launch and we're going to earn. So the property goes live, the pricing's dialed in, and it's ready to book. And here's why ownership wins if you have the capacity to do it. The first is cost segregation and plus bonus depreciation gives you the 100% depreciation in year 1. So it's going to be a massive tax deduction hitting your W-2 directly. The short-term rental loophole lets you offset W-2 income without being a real estate professional. And so you get the triple stack with this. You get the cash flow from bookings, you get the tax savings from depreciation, and then equity from appreciation. So you have all 3 working at the same time. Now, if Path C is the one that clicked for you, then this is how we make it happen. First is the STR Concierge. So it's a completely done-for-you service. We find the deals, we set up everything, and you own the property. We're the only done-for-you. This is the only done-for-you service where we find and underwrite 5 to 10 deals for you and set everything up so you're earning within 4 months. And because we're doing the actual work here, capacity is limited to 20 spots. So the 2 main pieces here, and we handle both, is first step is we find and structure your deal. Okay, so we get on a discovery call, define your buy box and goals. We source 5 to 10 properties, we underwrite them, we do the full market analysis, and then we're going to support you through the offer negotiation to the closing. We coordinate due diligence with inspectors. We set up your tax entity structure with CPAs. We handle cost segregation for maximum savings and plan on roughly 90 to 20 days, 120 days, depending on how fast you move. Then the second step is we launch your STR operations once you get closed on your property. So we create your listings on Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com. We build your direct booking website. We integrate your tech stack for automation. We set up automated guest messaging. We give you the full operational playbook and SOPs. So we give you 30-day and 90-day performance reviews. Once the property closes, you're going to be live in a few weeks. Now, every property we set up is structured for maximum tax savings from day 1. So on our side, we handle 3 things. First is the entity structure guidance. We can help you set up your LLC optimize for your situation, cost segregation strategy, so we can help you accelerate your depreciation in year one for maximum tax savings. And then on the partner side, we're going to connect you with the right people. So the financing strategy, where you figure out the DSCR loans or conventional loans for your situation. We're going to give you vetted lender referrals. We're also going to give you cost segregation company referrals, the people that handle my own stuff. And we're also going to give you all our whole network of people that we recommend and stand by. So this is true done for you. Okay. We log in and we actually do the work. The listing setup, we create and optimize your Airbnb listing, set up the properties, the operational playbook, where we help you hire the cleaner, the cleaning checklists, the guest communication SOPs, and also anything that's emergent. So we're going to give you the response playbooks there as well. We're going to give you the tech stack. So set up the dynamic pricing strategy, configure your PMS, set up automated messaging, and then sync your calendar across all platforms. And then we're also going to give you post-launch support. So we get a 30-day check-in call, a 90-day performance review, and then direct messaging access to us, and then troubleshooting as you go live. On top of all that, Path C includes everything from the STR side as well. So you're going to get the complete STR video training curriculum. You're going to get AirDNA. That's over $14,000 per year in license. That's included at no cost. And this is the industry standard for STR market data. Okay, you're also going to get the uplisting plan, which is a $1,000 per year license for vacation rental and channel management. That's also going to be included. And you're not going to be starting from scratch finding the right people. Okay, so we connect you with the partners who specialize in short-term rentals. So DSCR lenders, cost segregation companies, CPAs, real estate agents, interior designers, and property managers if you ever want someone else running the operations. So here's the full picture of Path C. Okay, so you get Legacy Wealth Blueprint plus the STR Concierge. So everything from Path A is included, the full blueprint, tax optimization, the debt strategy, and the wealth protection. On top of that, you're going to AirDNA, uplisting plan, the Airbnb curriculum, the vetted referral network, the complete STR video training, a second membership for your spouse at no extra cost, 30-day and 90-day performance reviews, and the done for you piece as well. So we find, structure your deal, discovery, sourcing, underwriting, negotiation, tax setup. We launch your short-term rental operations, listing creation, tech stack, automation, SOPs. We do it all. So here's a simple flow chart to figure out which one fits for you. Okay, so let's start at the top. Do you have $120,000 or more to deploy? If the answer is yes, then Path C can make some sense. Now, that's where you get the maximum tax savings, cash flow, and equity all at once. We do the work for you here as well. Now, if the answer is no, ask yourself one more thing. Okay, do you want more monthly cash flow on top of optimizing what you already have? If the answer is yes, then Path B can be a great option. Okay, we have the arbitrage option with the done for you setup. And if the answer is no to that, then Path A works great. You just want to fix your taxes, knock out debt, and protect what you built. So you can take a quick screenshot of this if you want, just to try to make sense of what makes the most sense for you. So let me, again, quickly break down the three paths again, okay? Because I know we have a lot of people asking questions about these, okay? So Path A is tax optimization, okay? So you're not generating new income, where you're keeping $15,000 to $30,000 more of what you already make. Okay, a couple hours per week to implement is best for someone making $100,000 to $200,000 who want to stop the bleeding. Path B is tax optimization plus the cash flow. So everything in Path A plus $2,000 per month from a short-term rental. This is best for someone who wants extra income and is willing to run it. Path C is the full package. So cash flow, over 50 grand in tax savings, plus the equity that grows over time, and we handle everything. And this is best for someone that has over $120,000 to invest, who wants results without doing the work, and we only have 20 spots for that one. So again, to apply to work with us, you can click the link in the chat, or you can go to managemoney101.com to apply and also book your call if you haven't already. Okay. All right. So, and if you need any help, or if there's aren't any times that work for you, you can also shoot me an email, preston@legacyinvesting.com, and we'll have someone on my team on standby to make sure that we find a time that works for you. Okay. Because we want to make sure that if you're here on this challenge, that we make sure that we find a time that works for you. So just make sure to email us if you go through managemoney101.com and you can't find a time slot that works for you. Okay, now I'm going to be covering what actually happens on the consultation call and what it's like to work with us. Okay, so let's break that down. Okay, so first of all, once you book your call, think of it like a financial checkup. Okay, so you go to the doctor, they run tests first before telling you what to do. We do the exact same thing. We look at your full financial picture and show you what's actually possible for your situation. So it's 3 steps and it's pretty straightforward. So first, we gather everything: your income, your taxes, your debt, how much you can invest. We need the full picture. And then we're going to run it through our proprietary calculator. So it's going to find your tax savings report opportunities, any spots where we can restructure debt, and figures out your realistic investment potential. And then you're going to see the results. So your year one tax savings, how much we can cut from debt payments, and what kind of returns you can expect. So come prepared, bring your W-2 income, any business income, where you're able to invest monthly, and any lump sum that you have as well. And then your current debt situation helps for us to run the numbers properly. The tool is only as good as the numbers that you give us. Now, you might be wondering why we don't just tell you the price right now. Okay. And the thing is, everyone's situation is different. Some people need the one-on-one coaching. Some do better in a group setting. Some just need the course material, and others need the specialized tools on top of it. We're not going to recommend anything until we actually understand what you're working with. And if there's not much opportunity there, then we're going to tell you straight up. We're not going to push you into doing something that doesn't make sense for your life. That's not how we operate. Because every person you know who's financially set up had a moment where they decided to stop waiting, right? Maybe it was turning 40 and realizing that 20 years of work didn't add up to what they thought it would. Or maybe it was looking at their kids and thinking, okay, I need to get serious about this. That moment is right now for you, right? Stop guessing and actually take control of your finances. That's what this call is about. It's either just adding another thing on your calendar, or it's a thing that changes everything. That's what the call is for. It should make sure that we give you the tools and the insights to see how we can help you, if at all. And also, waiting isn't free. It actually costs money. If you put $1,000 per month into something returning 10% a year, over 30 years, that's $2.1 million. You cut that to 20 years and you're at $754,000. Drop it by 10 years and you're at $217,000. Same strategy, the same money, but the only difference is how long you waited to start. So every year you sit on this, you're not just losing this year, you're losing all the compounding that would have come after it. The lost tax savings, the unnecessary interest, the missed growth, it adds up to millions of dollars over time. And let's be real here for a second. Okay, you showed up every single session, you're still here. And let's be real, guys. Most people don't do that, right? You're definitely an outlier. The fact that you're watching this tells me that's something about you. You actually take action. And action is the only thing that separates people who build wealth from people who just talk about it. You're also proving that your finances matter to you and you're serious about fixing this and not just thinking about it. Okay. So there's 4 simple things they can do before the call. You can first download Zoom if you don't have it already. It takes 30 seconds. If you're here on Zoom right now, you probably have it, but just to be sure, make sure that you check for that. Then reply yes to the email or the calendar invite so your spot is locked in. Okay. So you're going to get it. We'll send you an email. Just reply yes to the calendar or the calendar invite so your spot is locked in. Then check your email for a message that your matched advisor has sent. Okay. They already specialize in situations like yours. And if you have a spouse or a business partner, then you can bring them along as well. These decisions are going to affect you both. So by the end of the call, you're going to have 3 things. First are your numbers. Okay. Your actual first year financial improvements based on your specific situation. And we're also going to get a clear understanding of what level of support you actually need to get results. And then we're going to get a clear decision on whether this is the right fit or not, which path makes sense for you and what the investment looks like. Now, you've already done something that most people never do. You looked at your finances honestly and said, I'm ready to change this. Every wealthy person had a turning point. The exact moment they stopped hoping things would work out and actually start building. Mine was when I was sitting in the hospital with my son when he was born. I knew something had to change then, right? So this call is yours. Your advisor has already seen your information. They know your goals and they're ready to build your strategy with you. So don't let your future self down. Now, this is for you if this sounds familiar, okay? Let me know if any of this sounds familiar. You're earning more than your parents, but financial freedom feels far away. You don't want shortcuts. You want a real plan. You know, taxes and inflation and bad structure are eating up your income, and you just want the right strategies to fix it. And you want to pass down real wealth to your kids, and you don't want to pass down stress. So if that's you, then this was built for you. This is something that a lot of people think about, but don't say out loud. Okay. The best move is to involve them early. Okay. Book the call together, watch the training together, talk about how this fits your life. I'm talking about your spouse, your family member. And if you guys do join, we include a second membership for your spouse or family member at no cost. They get full access, no extra explaining, just learning together. And if your partner's too busy or not ready, then that's fine as well. Okay. The second membership is optional. You can go through the whole program on your own if you need to. Now, again, to get the most out of your call, have these ready. So your W-2 income, any business income, if that applies, how much you realistically can invest each month, any lump sum you have, and your current debt situation. Because having these numbers means that we give you precise results and we're not just guessing. So that being said, sharing this stuff is optional. If you're not comfortable putting your sensitive details, then that's totally fine. We respect it. But if you do, just know that me and my team keep this confidential. But just know that you don't have to do it if you don't want to. Okay, so I want to show you something really powerful right now. So take a look at this chart. You can even do this with me. Okay, go to investor.gov. You can click on the compound interest calculator to see this for yourself. So let's say we have 10 grand to invest for the initial amount and then $1,000 per month at a 10% return. So in 10 years, $217,000 that we'll have. In 20 years, it's $754,000. And in 30 years, it's $2.1 million. The biggest difference that I want you to look at is the difference here. Okay, we have the same strategy, the same market, but the only difference was the time. So here's the critical point. Every year you wait is going to cost you far more than just 1 year. It's going to cost you the compound effect of that year multiplied many times over. I call this the $1 million procrastination tax because delaying action, even a few years, literally costs you millions of dollars in lost opportunities, unnecessary taxes, interest payments, and missed compounding growth. That's why this is so important to take action. Now, here are some of the common questions that we get asked. Okay, so how is this better than just watching YouTube videos or reading finance books? Now, if YouTube and books were enough, then we already done it by now. But the problem is that YouTube and books don't give you a system, right? They just throw tactics at you. Like one video will say, go open a Roth IRA. But another says, go buy rentals. A book tells you to budget better. But none of them tell you what to do first, how it fits together, or what actually applies to your situation. Okay. And a lot of times the YouTubers, they're just out here for the views, right? And so inside this program, you get the same strategies I've used to become financially free. Plus you can ask questions, you get feedback, and you're not alone trying to figure this out by yourself. Another question that we get asked is, can I still join if I don't own a business yet? And yeah, you don't need a business to start building wealth like the wealthy do. Many of the biggest wins come from before someone ever launches a business. Okay. So we have a bunch of different strategies, maxing out 401k, solo 401k, HSA, the short-term rental loophole. That's over $10,000 in annual savings using strategies available to non-business owners. And we're not even talking about real estate or trust or even the investment gains, right? That's over $10,000 in value just from that. And most people don't need a business to start saving and growing like the wealthy do. They just need someone to walk them through how the tax code actually works, whether you're W-2, you're freelancing, or just starting to think about entrepreneurship. This program meets you where you are. Other people say, I don't have time to do this right now. So this program was built for busy people, okay? People with jobs, kids, responsibilities. The lessons are straight to the point. There's no 100 hours of fluff, and you don't have to go through everything from start to finish all at once, okay? Let's say you're struggling with debt. You can go straight to the debt fixes. Or maybe you're confused about taxes. Go straight to the tax playbooks. Or maybe your credit is a mess. So you can pull up the credit modules. You just solve the problem that matters to you right now. And then once you know the strategies and what you need to do, then it just takes a couple hours per month to implement it. Okay. Not a week, a month. And that's spread out through check-ins, small changes, and a few moves. And that's it. Or how do I know if this will financially be worth it for me? Now, money shouldn't be what holds you back from changing your financial future. And that's why we have created deal structuring. We did this for you to make sure that money doesn't become the excuse. The real question is, will this help me get closer to the financial life that I want? Okay. So let's walk through this table. Okay. So this is literally just from the tax savings that you can get if we implement. So without changing your job or your income, this doesn't include debt savings, investments, assets, and all the other stuff that we help you optimize. Unless you plan on managing money like the middle class forever, you're eventually going to need to get serious about taxes, debt, investing, and accessing capital. You can figure things out years from now, or you can start while it can still compound. So the program helps you save over 15 grand in taxes, cut over 20 grand in bad debt, at $50,000 plus in investments without quitting your job, and accessing $50,000 to $100,000 in 0% interest funding. And then we can lock in all the lifetime protections with the trust and the LLCs. So you can unlock over 100 grand in hidden wealth. Okay. In fact, one of our members, Nate, he messaged us after our Zoom call, and they said that the initial investment's paying off already from just one single Zoom call. So as soon as you can start implementing even a few things, you're going to see results like lowering your tax bill, more cash flow, hidden funding, and in many cases, those wins alone pay for the entire program. Okay. And a few weeks from now, you could be in the exact same position if you're willing to make a change. We have other people ask, okay, how do I know if this is for me? Now, most people never break out of the middle class trap because they don't know what's possible, right? Because if you're overpaying $10,000 plus in taxes, that just sounds normal to a lot of people. Okay. But nobody around them knows either of those, right? About all the business funding, getting access to the credit. And so they do what everyone else does around them. Okay. And that's how most people stay stuck. Meanwhile, the wealthy have advisors who've set up entities, trusts, and credit plays for people worth tens of millions of dollars. They get it done the right the first time. And so following this approach is how I went from $0 to an eight-figure portfolio. And so again, this program's for you. If you make more than your parents did, but you feel like you're falling behind, you followed every rule, but you're nowhere near financial freedom. You want a plan that grows wealth quietly in the background. You're earning more, but through taxes and bad structure, they're eating alive. And you want to build wealth that gets bigger with every generation. And you want to break the cycle of passing down stress and not assets. So if that's you, this is your shot to fix it for good. We have other people say, okay, what if I'm not good at this finance stuff? Okay, if financial stuff makes your brain shut down, then you're not broken. The system is. We worked with people earning hundreds of thousands of dollars who still felt completely lost. And most financial systems are built to make you feel small. Okay, so you stay stuck and dependent on someone else. But the Legacy Wealth Blueprint breaks it all down step by step, so that way you don't become you don't become financially confident before you start. You become confident because you start, and you see how it all fits together. Okay. And so if you ever thought, okay, I'm not built for this, you're exactly who this program was built for. All right, so let's do some Q&A. Let's answer some of your questions that you have, whether that's anything related to the program, any other questions that you might have, because I want to make sure that I'm helpful and answer any of the questions, because I know we covered a lot of stuff over the last few days. And again, the full recap, Path A, Path B, and Path C are on the screen here. And if you haven't booked a call yet, you can go to managemoney101.com to book a call with a team, free call with our wealth advisor to see if it's going to be a good fit or not. Okay. And then if you don't find any times that work for you, you can also email preston@legacyinvestingshow.com. And then the VIP session is going to be after this as well. So we're going to spend the next about 10 to 15 minutes here just doing Q&A for you guys. And then we'll be doing the VIP session here afterwards. And then also send an email, and I'll send an email right before the session as well for the VIP session. So for those that don't have the Zoom link for the VIP session, I'll send an email right before the session so that you guys have access to that. Okay. Okay, so let's drop your questions here in the chat. Drop your questions here in the chat, and I will try to I'll answer questions here for the next 10 minutes or so, and then we'll hop onto the VIP session for those that have got the VIP ticket. Okay, Rebecca, if you choose option C, I assume there is a handover time frame so I can accumulate 100 hours in 2026 to take advantage of STR tax strategy. Yeah, for sure. Especially if you want to qualify for that. You want to make sure that we give you the guidance on what qualifies as the time period, and then we'll make sure that we optimize everything in the background as well. So depending on your situation, how you want to do that, we'll for sure help with that. Okay, so drop your questions here in the chat. And we'll get to as many of these here over the next 10 minutes, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Okay, we are interested in this, but already have an Airbnb 5-star rating. Awesome, that's great. But need tax strategy help and help with overall strategies. You mentioned we don't need help with acquiring more property. Can't afford it yet, but want a future procurement plan and generally want some future guidance in current situation. Is this possible? Yeah, for sure. Sounds like Path A would make the most sense for you, Patricia. And so if you haven't already, you can just talk to your wealth advisor, and we can walk through the different plans more in depth. But I mean, based on what you told me here, I think it sounds like Path A sounds like the perfect option for you in that case. Let's see, question here from Ashley: how much do you have to make to take advantage of what is it? Sorry, I lost your question. How much you have to make to take advantage of QBI? So there's no minimum income to use a QBI. If you have the qualified business profit, then you can take it. So I think you're probably talking about like the limit people talk about is the phase out, and so that's not an entry level requirement. If you have qualified business profit, then you can take the QBI. See, okay, profits made from trading on prop accounts distributed as a 1099. Is that business income or treated as capital gains? It's business income and not capital gains because when profits are paid out from a prop firm and reported on a 1099, then they're treated as ordinary income because you didn't trade your own capital. You were paid for services or performance. And so you can expect it to be reported on Schedule C, and then that's going to be taxed as ordinary income and not capital gains. Let's see here. If I build business credit for one of my businesses, do I have to start over when I start another business? Yeah, most likely yes, just because business credit is going to be tied to each entity. And then any existing guarantees makes it much easier to build credit faster the second time. So you don't have to start from zero in practice, even though the entity does. So the history doesn't transfer, but the process does speed it up. Kirk, with option C, will the deals be in the same state of residence? It doesn't have to be. It can be out of state. Like mainly, we want to go to a market, and this is something that you can figure out with your your coach. Is we'll just see what makes the most sense, like what you're interested in, whether that's equity, cash flow, and then we're going to present you with options, and then you make the best option based on what your goals are. Okay, let's keep your questions coming. We're trying to answer some more here before we hop off to the VIP session. Katie, will option help me if I'm midway through many of these in process of trust, have multiple LCs, one is S corp, and assuming we still need our own CPA? Yeah, so option A still helps greatly, even if you're midway. It's designed to organize what you already have, spot the gaps, and make sure everything is working together correctly. And yeah, you can still keep your own CPA. This doesn't replace them. It's going to make sure that you help answer or you help ask better questions and make sure the strategy is actually applied before anything gets filed. But yeah, Katie, like we can still definitely help you. Like we've had finance professionals that have come through our program and say that this is stuff that they've never heard of in their training. And so whether you're at midway through, if you feel like you're an expert, like there's most likely a path that we can help you with. Jesslyn, are all these paths lifetime accessible? So you can see out here on the screen what is lifetime access. So path A, 100 plus video lesson, these are going to be lifetime access. These things, so the wealth guide, the wealth circle community, these are going to be 12-month access, but the templates, SLB checklists, all that stuff, you get lifetime access. All right, let's answer a handful more questions here. Okay, I saw a question here. Let me pull this back up. Marcus, you seem to not be in favor of the W-2 401k, but in favor of the solo 401k. Please explain the difference. I may have missed this if you already explained your position. It's not that I'm against the W-2 401k. I'm against forcing money into it just because you're told to do it. Because a W-2 401k is great for the match and also the tax deferral, but you don't really have any control over that. Okay, because you have limited investments, limited flexibility, and then your future taxes are unknown. But up to the match, then like I think it makes a lot of sense. A solo 401k, it gives you a lot more control because it gives you higher contribution that's potentially tied to your business. And then you also have more investment options because you have the ability to do Roth, rollovers, and more advanced strategies from there. Um, it's not about which is better. It's just about control and the flexibility and also the alignment with how you actually make money. Heidi, do you teach us how to do the procedures too as you're doing it for us, like in Path C? Yeah, so Path C, you're going to get everything in Path C, plus everything in Path B, plus everything in Path A. So basically, if you choose to do Path C, then you essentially just get everything here that's included here on the screen. So that includes all the training, all the lessons here. It's not that you just get this; you're going to get everything in Path B and everything in Path A. Question here. Okay, Heather, I'm in the middle of a divorce settlement. It may become more complicated. Should I wait until things are settled and final? It really just depends on like how like far you are into it. It's obviously you can discuss that with the wealth advisor on the call. Just kind of see your current situation, and then we can map out because again, every single person is a little bit different. People going through divorces, all that. So just hop on a call with the wealth advisor if you haven't already, managemoney101.com to book a call and just let's talk it through with the wealth advisor to see what your current situation makes sense. So, call's free. It doesn't hurt to get on the call and see what your current situation is and how we can help. Okay, Zara, is it recommended to pay off credit card debt with funds from your individual brokerage account? I mean, it depends, but it can if the credit card interest is high, especially if it's like a 20+% interest rate, then the trade-off is selling those investments and then paying those off can be a good strategy. But just remember that the trade-off is in selling those investments as well. That can itself trigger taxes. So you just have to run the numbers, compare the interest rate to the tax cost of actually selling. Um, Okay, any other options for a therapy business as I can't use QBI? Yes, even without QBI, you still have some levers, right? So the big ones are the structure and the deductions. You can also use S Corp to split your salary and distributions that we went pretty in depth about. You can also use the accountable plan. You can max out your retirement accounts. You have the HSA available. So if you don't have access to QBI, there's still definitely different pathways to optimize taxes. Okay, let me answer one more question here before we hop off over to the VIP session. So, Albert, what's the success rate spread for Path C? There's definitely success stories. Do you have non-success stories if things do go south? So, here's something that you guys can go take a look at. So, if you go to this site here, firstairbnb.com/stories. Obviously, not everyone's situation. It really depends on how much you're willing to do. Because if you're expecting to come in here not doing any work at all, then obviously you're not going to get any results, right? But if you come in, you follow the guidelines that we give you, if you follow the procedure that we map out, then the success rate is very, very high. So of course, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there's a 100% success rate. If anyone tells you that, they're lying. But it really just comes down to the person that's executing. We know that the things that we teach work as long as you come in and follow it. So it really just depends on you. Um, oh yeah, so a lot of you guys got the personalized tax report here when you got your tickets. And so we had a few people and questions asking about how to best use the report and implement it and how to get the most value out of it. So let me actually, before we hop onto the VIP session, let me actually walk you through an example report and show you how to go through it, how to implement it, and what things to focus on, and then what we do. Okay, so let me actually walk through this personalized tax report here. So again, this is for those people that got this in the ticket before the challenge started, because we had a few people ask about this. So let me just kind of walk you through an example of what this looks like. So here's an example prepared for me. Okay, so this is me in a different life. I'm single. My wife has left me, and I have moved to California because I want to pay the highest state tax as possible. So in this scenario here, I'm making $100,000. Business income is $50,000. So this cool tool is really cool. Okay, and we built it. I literally built this for myself, but we just saw that this is super valuable. So that's why we, made it an option so that you guys can use this as well. So this literally walks you through it, everything step by step. So it first tells you the first next 14 days what you can do in terms of quick wins, and then also gives you the full maximum potential. So you just type in a few things. For those of you that have done this, let me know in the chat if you've gone through this already. But this is really cool. So you just type in some information about yourself, and then it spits out in this nicely packaged report exactly how much you could be saving on taxes. So here's another cool part. It shows you your optimization score, similar to other earners. This way it shows your current tax savings, and then also shows you what the top optimized earners can help you with. So this is in this case, so that you can show you that you can in your income bracket you can be saving up to $45,000. and then walks you through step by step your strategy at gap analysis. So you can look at what you're currently using right now, what some of your gaps are. From a high priority, we also tag it as high priority versus medium. And then we go through the quick wins. So how we can start saving this week. So we build it all out. So day 1, day 2. We also show you exactly where your money's leaking. So in this case, I'm leaking $64,000. So I definitely need to do this week. And then we can walk you through the different strategies, right? So S Corp election, and then walks you through exactly what you need to do. Solo 401k here, QBI deduction, and then let's walk through the different strategies. And then it's really cool because it also ranks the potential savings by strategy. So it gives you the highest and then goes down to the lowest. So it shows you what's going to be the biggest needle mover versus what can maybe wait. So that's something that we built into this. And for those that are asking about this, so link is in the chat if you want to purchase it. Link is in the chat. We made sure that this was super affordable. Like I think the value that you get from this is like crazy for what we charge. But if you're interested in this, you can click the link in the chat for this. But the strategies are by risk level. So if you want to be more conservative to moderate to aggressive, and then also gives you even more advanced strategies here. Really cool report. And then because now I'm moved to California in this life, 13.3%, and also kind of gives you different strategies and different advantages that you can take advantage of depending on your state. And then it walks you through like your 5-year projections, because it's cool to see what you can do in the first year, but it also helps to see what this does in terms of compounding over time. And so in this example, I could have literally $345,000 saved if invested. So for example, here's the tax savings, 7% annual return. If I were to save 25 grand per year and I invested that instead, shows me how much I can make. So it really gets you moving. Nothing like really gets you more invested in seeing how much you can actually save in the future, right? So that's what we have that for. Gives you their 30-day roadmap, gives you any additional resources. And this is just a really cool tool. Okay. So, and then also spits out your exact potential savings here. Really cool tool. If you want to grab it, link is in the chat for that. But I figured I'd walk through that just because we had several people ask about it and email us on how to use it. And also, obviously, people are interested in that. Okay. All right. So we're going to take a quick break. So for those of you that purchased the VIP tickets, we'll see you on the call here shortly. Everyone else, it's been a pleasure past few days going through all this. Hope you guys learned a lot. The biggest thing here is to just take action, right? Don't let an imperfect situation that you're currently in stop you from just taking that first step. Okay. So whether that's booking a call with my team, whether that's you taking the resources or taking what we learned over the last few days and trying to implement it on your own, just go out there and take action. Okay. That's really all we ask. All right. Okay. So if you haven't booked a call, just go to managemoney101.com. If you need any help with my team, email us, preston@legacyinvestors.com. And for everything else, for everyone else, check your email inbox for the VIP session. Well, I'll be joining that link here in a few minutes. And then we'll wrap up the session with the VIP. Okay. Everyone else, it's been a pleasure. Had a blast. Hope you guys learned a lot. And for the VIP members, I'll talk to you guys here in a second.